What if the most sacred building in your town, the one carved from stone, the one that echoed with hymns and incense and centuries of faith, was never meant to be a church at all? What if it was a disguise, a shell, hiding something ancient and powerful, something forbidden? It's a kind of secret that got people killed across empires. What if I told you that beneath the altar lies a map, and not just any map, but a diagram of energies, lost civilizations, and something the Vatican has spent centuries trying to erase from history? They said it was a church, but it was something else. The year is 1137. The dusty hills of southern France tremble beneath the hooves of crusaders. Blood-stained and weary from the Holy Land, they bring relics back with them, artifacts, not all of them. Holy one of these nights, a man, shrouded in silence, constructs a small Romanesque chapel atop a rocky outcrop in the village of Rennes-le-Château. Locals whispered that he was no ordinary builder. The foundation was not blessed by Rome, and the symbols carved into the pillars did not resemble saints, but spirals, stars, and something older still. It was said that strange chants echoed at midnight, that no priest ever stayed long. Decades pass, and the chapel is forgotten. Until in 1885, a priest arrives. Poor, unknown, and obedient, but within months, he is suddenly rich, renovating the church with peculiar murals of demons watching the Mass, commissioning cryptic statues like Mary Magdalene holding a skull and hiding scrolls inside hollow altars. Soon, he is hosting mysterious visitors from Paris and Jerusalem, whispering in Latin long after dark. Then, in Templar discovers something beneath the church floor, a wooden tube, sealed in wax containing parchment written in ancient code. Some say it referenced a bloodline. Others claim it marked the location of an underground chamber. When he brought it to church authorities, they told him to keep silent. He refused, and within weeks was excommunicated, but not before wiring large sums to secret bank accounts across Europe. The scrolls vanish, but rumors spread fast. Historians digging into the priest's past uncover a forbidden link to the Knights Templar, who were brutally dissolved in 1307 under charges of heresy and devil worship, and who many believe never vanished at all. They say had uncovered a Templar crypt hidden beneath the chapel, and inside was not gold or relics, but documents, proof of a heretical belief system that could destroy the church's authority forever. These were not just theological writings. They included maps of energy lines that crisscrossed Q's Europe, what the ancients called dragon veins, aligned with Stonehenge, the pyramids, and cathedrals built on sacred nodes. One document even described the church as a vessel built upon ancient pagan blueprints, disguised to contain or harness the energy of these power spots to maintain dominance over the masses. But that was only the beginning. Another manuscript found years later in a Parisian antique shop spoke of a voice beneath the stone, a phrase traced back to Cathar mysticism, which claimed that the soul could resonate with the earth itself. That the early church silenced this knowledge by rebranding these energy centers as miracles and burying the ancient temples beneath churches. In 1944, things take a dark turn as Nazi soldiers invade Rennes-le-Château. They are not looking for resistance fighters. They are hunting relics. Heinrich Himmler SSS was obsessed with the occult, and the hidden powers of the ancients. Documents recovered post-war show the chapel was marked on Nazi treasure maps under the code name Der Tempel des Schwarzen Lichts, the Temple of the Black Light. What did they believe was buried there? Why did they risk everything for it? The answers lie buried in what is now the private Vatican Secret Archives, among them a redacted file labeled Codex RLC, smuggled out by a defrocked bishop in the 1970s. It speaks of an inner chamber guarded by symbols that predate Christianity, referencing a vibration key, an awakening of the architect. No mainstream scholar has acknowledged this file, and those who tried to speak of it have disappeared from public records completely. One of them, Dr. Geneviève Valois, a French archaeologist, published a paper in 1993 arguing that the church in Rennes-le-Château was built over a megalithic grid linked to Atlantis within a year. Her university shut down her funding, revoked her thesis, removed from the National Archive. In a final interview, she whispered, "The church is not a place of worship, it is a machine," and then she vanished. Still, mainstream historians dismiss all of it as myth or local folklore. They say God is money from blackmail, not treasure, they say. The Nazi maps were just legend. They say the symbols on the walls mean nothing, but the carvings match ancient Mesopotamian icons and forbidden Masonic scripts. Even the Vatican's own published documents omit this site completely, as if it never existed. So why would the church redact documents? Why would it bury Templar writings or deny the underground chambers if there is nothing to hide? Why do private security firms now guard the ruins, and why is drone footage banned over the site? What if everything we retold about the medieval world is filtered through a lens designed to keep us from the truth? And the ultimate question is, what if the church was not built to worship God, but to hold something back, to trap a knowledge so ancient, so powerful, it had to be hidden beneath holy ground? What if the world we see is just a surface, and the real power lies buried beneath us, waiting to be awakened? A prophecy carved into the wall of the secret chamber allegedly read, "The stone shall sing when the world is blind, and the true temple shall rise." Some believe it refers to an awakening, a return of ancient wisdom when mankind becomes lost. Others believe it's a warning. They said it was a church. They told us it was a place to kneel and pray. But what if it was a lie? What if that place was never meant for worship, but for containment? And the only thing more dangerous than what it hides is the day someone unlocks it. Because if history was rewritten once, if truths were buried beneath altars, if cathedrals are machines and priests once guarded keys, not scriptures, then it begs one final question. If it happened once, could it happen again? Subscribe, because truth, no matter how buried, always finds its voice whispers. They said it was a church, but it was something else.